An often used phrase goes something like this. You don't see this every day. We're going to play out that phrase in a rare but exciting doubleheader here at Totino-Grace in Fridley. This high school basketball doubleheader will begin with the girls contest. The undefeated Totino-Grace Eagles at 6-0 take on the Bellevue West Thunderbirds at 3-2. Bellevue West, one of the top teams from Nebraska, and they're not afraid to take on any sort of challenge. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden. She's Jodi Rehlander, and Jodi, we've covered a lot of high school events over the years, but it's always fun when we get to see teams from outside the state. We have one here in Bellevue West out of Nebraska, the Thunderbirds, semifinalists last year in Class A, the largest class in Nebraska. Their schedule so far includes 3 of the top 5 teams ranked in the preseason, a 3-time defending state champion, and a Totino-Grace team that is back in the fold after a rebuilding year of sorts, but they won a state title 2 years ago. So I don't know what's going to happen today, but we should get some high-level chess in this one.
Absolutely. It's so great to see our state teams looking outside of the box for great opponents. As they say, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and so today we're looking to see the best.
Well, Totino-Grace hoping to be one of the best again. Last year was a rebuilding year of sorts after the architects of their last state championship graduated and moved on to the college level. But they are back, and they are back in a big way thanks to the likes of Chloe Nuss, Maria Radabaugh, Ava Regal. Nuss, I believe, her first ever 30-point game earlier this season. All that experience is paying off in big ways this year.
That's how you do it. You build a program, and then you get to be consistently good, and then you build on that, and then you go look for other people to beat.
Bellevue West a little short-handed. Naomi White, their top player, out with an ankle sprain. It won't be a long absence, but it will be a notable one here. So we're going to see some different looks today out of the Thunderbirds, and probably more of an impetus on players like Ahnica Russell-Brown and Danny Coyer to step up. But Dane Bacon, the head coach of Bellevue West, told me up and down it's a talented roster, and they'll be ready for the task.
One thing you notice when you look at the stat lines for Bellevue West is the fact that they have a lot of people contributing. So I don't think that White's absence will be terribly missed, but we'll see.
No seedings or rankings on the line today, but it should be a great barometer for both teams who hope to make another deep run in the postseason for their respective classes. We'll be back to tip off this doubleheader. You're watching high school girls basketball. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to Totino-Grace in Fridley. Mike and Jodi with you. Jodi, I imagine you played your share, well, in football at least, and maybe in your high school sports too, your share of out-of-state teams. What is the mood like going into a game that brings that element of uncertainty? Because conference games, section games, you know all about your opponents. That's not going to be the case for these two teams. Outside of film, I don't think they've had a chance to see each other.
That's true, Mike. Oftentimes these days you do have a lot of film. There's YouTube highlights, there's max preps, there's so many places to at least get a glimpse of your opponent. That's so different from when I came up, which was before like the internet. So I'm really excited to see what happens today. I do think that this added element of unknown will make both teams rise to the occasion.
AAU has helped bridge some of those gaps.
Yes.
Dane Bacon, the head coach for Bellevue West, noted he has seen a couple of the Totino-Grace players through spring and summer ball. But outside of that, I wouldn't be surprised if the first few minutes are spent feeling each other out. Compared to Northwest Suburban, where Totino-Grace is, they know a little bit about everybody. Here, it might take a little experience, a few sets, to really get a sense of where they're at, who to look for, all of that.
Right. There's only so much you can tell from the stat sheets on a flat sheet of paper. So this action should be very interesting today.
Let's take a look at the starters. For Bellevue West, it's Ahnica Russell-Brown, Mia McVeigh, Kenzie Melcher, Amy Oltman, and Danny Coyer. Again, Naomi White out with the ankle sprain. Totino-Grace will start Maria Radabaugh, Chloe Nuss, Ava Regal, Carolyn Schrader, and Megan Spencer. A couple of changes that are unique for Bellevue West. They play with quarters, and their home games, they wear the light jerseys, so they're wearing their quote-unquote home jerseys for a road game. But the boys' coaches had a hand in creating this, and Mary Dangarud, the head coach of Totino-Grace, was asked if she wanted to include the girls and make it a doubleheader. They went ahead with it. And because of changes to the Northwest Suburban Conference, this opened up and we are underway. And to clarify with Northwest Suburban, each team still plays each other once. It used to be once and then twice against opponents from your division. Now teams have the option to play a second time.
Fast break for Bellevue.
That's Megan Spencer, who scores for Totino-Grace.
Makes it count.
Bellevue West again wearing the whites. Totino-Grace wearing the navy. Even though Bellevue normally wears the whites for their home games, this is a road game for them. And again, no Naomi White. Here's Ahnica Russell-Brown, who launches the three and connects. The Thunderbirds 3-2, the Eagles 6-0, and Totino-Grace back in the fray in Class 3A. This starter there is not necessarily out of the blue, though. Faking the three, trying to find space with Schrader, got out. That's Megan Spencer, who missed the runner. Russell-Brown looking to score in the take, can't do it.
A little too hard off the backboard.
Those layups do require an element of finesse. Ava Regal lost it.
Definitely feeling each other out early here, Mike, as you said. Yep.
I didn't expect it would play out like this. McVeigh.
Resetting the offense.
They do use a shot clock in Nebraska, so that is not foreign to them. That will be a foul. I wasn't sure if that was going to be a foul or a travel, but I did see contact.
Just a little extra hand there as Melcher went to shoot.
And Jodi, it's been a while since I last visited this gym. I forgot how loud it is.
It is very echoey.
Not a huge crowd in attendance, but you wouldn't know it based on the noise. And I would only expect the boys' game to bring in a bigger crowd. Jump ball, and Totino-Grace with the arrow. As we said in the open, no seeding, no rankings to worry about. This isn't going to impact either side, but this is a good tune-up game for both, who figure to be contenders in the postseason, as Radabaugh missed the three from the key. Totino-Grace, of course, won a surprise state title in 2022. Nobody picked them to win it. That's Carolyn Schrader with the steal.
Eagles pushing, but pulling back.
Regal, the kick out, three on the way. Bullseye.
Both teams looking for the strategy of getting into the lane and then looking for the outside shooter that's open. Paid off that time for Totino-Grace.
The old classic drive and kick. That was a tough shot and a push from behind on Coyer.
Interesting to note, Coyer at 6'2" had a 6-inch advantage at the tip-off for Megan Spencer, who's only 5'8", yet Totino definitely not giving up anything in enthusiasm, despite being undersized.
Well, Totino, they have answered every test so far. We've got free throws coming for Maria Radabaugh.
Nice strong drive in the lane, drew the contact.
Radabaugh averaging 15.8 points per game this year. Her favorite artist is Drake. She eats a turkey sandwich before every game, and she's also a tennis player here at Totino-Grace.
That lateral movement will pay off.
And you've heard me say this more than once. Whether Jodi's with me, Alex, or anyone in the booth, I always encourage multi-sport participation.
Yes.
Look what it did for Madden Greenway.
Now that's an extreme example, but you're
Only
right.
led the state in goals twice in soccer and points and assists in basketball.
Yes.
Turnover on Bellevue West.
Bellevue West unable to finish. They've had several good penetrations, several good kickouts, just unable to put the biscuit in the basket, to borrow from a hockey euphemism.
And this is where I think not having Naomi White impacts them, because White leads the team in scoring. She has a couple of double-doubles. She is that one-woman fountain of production. Again, White will be available later on this season. That's number 11, Ava Latecki. Number 13, season opening, and she was cut off by McVeigh. Shot clock didn't reset. Ball didn't touch rim. Radabaugh, she's got to go. No, it did reset.
Lost it in the penetration.
Well, right, that won't matter.
Oh, are they going to call a foul?
Yes,
They are.
on Latecki. But the bench is cheering her on nevertheless, keeping her spirits bright. It is the holiday season after all.
Nifty block. Nifty block. Just had a little too much contact on the hand on the waist.
And those are always tricky on the run, in stride. Free throws for McVeigh. This season hasn't scored a ton, 4.2 points, 3 rebounds per game. It's a senior-heavy lineup for Bellevue West. Semifinalists last year in Class A. That is the largest class in Nebraska. Radabaugh looking for the step-back three. Use it as a fake. Spencer can't finish the layup. That was a great fake by Radabaugh.
It was. Dish out.
Three from the corner. Doesn't drop in for Taylor Wharton. Spencer.
Oh, nice dish. Oh.
And again, Totino-Grace missing a couple of these bunnies.
There
They get
we
one
go.
there.
There we go. Yep.
Megan Spencer with
On
the
the press
toughest
now.
degree of difficulty, yes. So I guess the easy ones are going to be hard, and the hard ones are going to be easy. Here's a three.
Way downtown.
Bullseye.
We saw in pregame the Thunderbirds warm-up. Penetrate and dish, penetrate and dish. They did that for about 10 minutes.
Melcher got the three. And scoring the fast break layup is Taylor Wharton. Ahnica Russell-Brown, I thought, came close to a travel, but got it out beforehand.
I feel like this game is a bit loosely called as far as travels. I, too, have seen maybe 2 or 3 that could have been called but haven't been.
16-footer, swish. Sophia Person.
Too much for Ahnica Russell-Brown to handle the inbound pass. It'll go back to Totino.
And the Eagles lead 10-9 with 12:36 left in the first half. As we noted, Nebraska, they use a shot clock, so players are highly familiar with that. Minnesota, first year statewide that a shot clock is being used. High-low pass deflected and ultimately scooped up by number 2, Vanna Reitzma.
See what the Thunderbirds do here on offense. It's been a little loose on both sides.
Russell
Trying
Brown,
to feed, 55.
Coyer too far out. for the penetration move. Russell Brown with 10 to shoot. Attacks. Tries to flip it in. It bounces out, but Russell Brown picks it up.
Oh.
And put everyone on hold for a moment, but she did get the roll. Person. Out to Regal. Kara Moeller sealed her off.
Bellevue West pushing it. Here comes a three.
Taylor Wharton knocks it down. Bellevue West up 14-10. A Class A semifinalist and a
Nice
contender in
little
3A.
penetration and layup.
That's Chloe Nuss, who, if you followed us in the Open, did record her first ever 30-point game against Spring Lake Park earlier this season. Nuss has really stepped up this year. 14-12, a foul away. And Totino-Grace, if you think this start of theirs is a flash in the pan or a fluke, they made it to the section finals last year, getting the upset over Mahtomedi, and had their shots gone down a little more frequently, they could have upset Hill Murray and made it to state as well. But to rebuild this quickly after losing the two architects of their last state championship to graduation, that's pretty impressive.
Well, and still only 2 seniors on the roster this year.
Free throws coming for McVeigh. She split her last time up. If you're curious, McVeigh is shooting about 67%. Bellevue West started the year with 3 straight wins. They dropped their last 2. Although Pius, they were right there. And Elkhorn North, I think that's the game where White got hurt. If she was fully healthy, it might be a different story. But so far, Jodi, we are seeing what Dane Bacon, I'm going to have a tough time getting that name down. But he did say this team is much more than Naomi White. We're seeing that in the early going. J.C. Woodard got the steal.
Forth.
Yeah, Totino-Grace swipes it back. Step back J.
Nope.
Four-point lead for Bellevue West. Out of Nebraska. High-low in transition. Jodi, what is going on?
Man, seems like we're just going to have 3-pointers all day, I guess.
McVeigh got the steal. Didn't quite get set for that. Ooh, got to be careful.
Yep.
And Mary Dinger is going to call the timeout.
I think so. Both teams look very aggressive. They're very fast-paced. They're clearly okay with a running style of ball, but I think it's right to take a pause for Totino-Grace. They just look a little bit too sloppy, I think, for their coach's comfort.
Well, looking ahead at some of the teams that Bellevue West will play, Totino-Grace, they will take on Lincoln, a school from Council Bluffs, Iowa. And a lot of players coming from families with military backgrounds. Bellevue in Nebraska, home to the Strategic Air Command base.
Yes.
Some of the spectators are saying one of the scariest bases out there.
It's always sobering to know that if something goes terribly wrong, that's the place in your own backyard is where the entire government is coming to try and fix it.
We hope that won't be the case today. 10:15 left in this one. Totino-Grace and Bellevue West in a friendly. That's all it is, just a friendly. Again, this will have no implications for section or state seeding.
And Bellevue West quietly out to a 4-point lead.
Totino-Grace missing again on the take. Chloe Nuss couldn't get the finish. Jodi, you might be right. 3-pointers are going to be the ticket today. Nuss getting on top of Melcher there for the stop.
Nice pass.
Transition
Melcher's
opportunity.
layup.
I've never seen this happen before.
That's about 12 points between the two teams. Easy put-ins.
I'm a little perplexed because both teams, they've had a few games under their belt. you might expect this first game of the year when everyone's getting their legs back under them.
But they're both 6 games in. It's odd.
And you wonder, maybe because they don't know each other and we've seen some defensive tenacity, if it's rattling the two sides.
Right.
As that 3 from McVeigh was offline.
Oh.
That was a beautiful extra pass to Carolyn Schrader-Riegel, using the drive as a decoy. Melcher to Russell Brown. McVeigh to Coyer. Up and in. Coyer with their first field goal. Had a double-double in the last game against Elkhorn North. This is Radabaugh around the picket fence and in.
There's some of the touch that had been missing. Bellevue pushing.
Deflection from behind. A steal for Totino-Grace. Radabaugh one-on-one with Russell Brown. Tries to get the step and will shoot 2.
Instead.
So far, Radabaugh's favorite moment was the upset over Montemedi. Radabaugh, a sophomore, I don't believe was on the team when they won state back in 2022. And the Architects that we spoke of are both playing Division II NSIC college ball. Leah Dangerud at Concordia and Hannah Herzig for MSU Mankato.
You never forget the games you win when you weren't supposed to.
And it's not like they were a severe underdog. They just didn't have the depth, or so we thought. They didn't need it, though. Hannah Herzig just went all-out beast mode in the state tournament and carried them to the title. Radabaugh carries Totino-Grace to an 18-18 tie after making those free throws. Quick skip, 3 on the way. Russell Brown has it clink off the back iron. Steal. And the layup.
Putback.
McVeigh with their first field goal. Jodi, the defensive aggressiveness is really putting these...
on the line. The defensive aggressiveness is making the difference.
I was going to say, it's putting these teams on edge. You got to be astute, cognizant. You can't bat an eye or blink. You really don't want to blink.
It's going fast and furious. A little over halfway through the first half, and I think that the jitters are out, and we're starting to see what these teams are really made of.
Latecki over to Schrader. 3 for Radabaugh is there.
With authority.
21-20, Totino-Grace over Bellevue West. You saw Kenzie Melcher straddling the baseline. You can do that on a made basket, field goal or free throw. I know most of you know that, but just in case. Extra pass along the baseline.
Yes.
Coyer with the finish.
Excellent positioning by Hoyer.
And like you said, Jodi, I think we're starting to see the fluidity pick up.
Yep. Hoyer especially seemed very, very stiff, but has made a couple of moves in the lane the last couple of possessions that have been pretty impressive.
Radabaugh. Back to the line she goes.
That's on Russell Brown. That'll be her second.
Her third.
Yes.
So I don't think we're going to be seeing her the rest of this half as Radabaugh goes back to the line for 2 more. And that part about blinking, Jodi, I was trying to set up a reference to the Weeping Angels where I said if I blink, I'm going to find myself going back in time long before I was supposed to exist.
See, you need a Star Trek or Star Wars reference to get me in. I'm not a Who fan.
Not a Whovian yet.
To my detriment, I understand.
Okay, well, there's still plenty of time. I'll work in some Star Trek and Star Wars references. One thing I don't have is a bad feeling about this. I certainly don't have a bad feeling about Kenzie Melcher's take. Here comes a 3. And getting the Plinko bounce is Chloe Nuss.
Took a minute, but it got there.
As long as it goes in, that's what counts.
Shooter's rims is what we called that.
The shooter's touch. I call it Plinko bounce. Some say every part of the rim. Scramble. Loose ball. Almost snagged by Person, but she does draw the foul. Bellevue West had 2 to give.
McVeigh just caught a little bit more hand than ball on that attempt. It was a little wild there for a moment.
And Bellevue West will take a timeout here. Just under 6 minutes left in the first half.
Really nice back and forth here in the last couple of minutes, Mike. I really like the way both teams have stepped up their game and then responded when the other team has tried to go on a little run.
Totino-Grace, they will take part in the Hill-Murray tournament, and as we said at the start, every test so far they have answered. Wins against Holy Angels, Hill-Murray, Spring Lake Park. They maybe don't jump out at you as top teams, but remember, Totino-Grace, they're the lone 3A school in the Northwest Suburban Conference, and picking up these non-conference wins can go a long way. They did get moved to Section 5 3A this year, so Hill-Murray no longer a potential opponent. Monticello and Becker are going to be the teams to watch. But Totino-Grace, come postseason time, they're battle-tested. That conference schedule goes a long way when you got to deal with the likes of Maple Grove, Centennial, Ahnica having a great year. So we'll see what happens, but I think Totino-Grace, I don't want to say they felt slighted, but they are offering a big reminder not to overlook them.
And I think you're exactly right, Mike. Putting people on your schedule that put you in a place where you've already seen adversity by the time you get to the postseason, really smart.
5:58 left in the first half. Radabaugh leads the Eagles with 9 points. Totino-Grace leads 25-24 in a game that has been back and forth throughout this half. Bullseye!
Just how they drew it up. Just how they drew it up. Penetrate, kick out, 3-point.
Sophia Person with her second field goal, and Totino-Grace, they're spreading the offense around. And free throws the other way. This will be Kenzie Melcher. Melcher averaging 9.2 points per game, 3.4 rebounds. Shooting 92% from the line. Not a ton of attempts yet, but 11 of 12, I would say, offers a good indicator.
Nothing but net.
This gym to me feels like the ultimate dichotomy. It's loud while action is taking place. During free throws, it's eerily silent. I'm afraid if I say anything, I'm going to jinx somebody. Except John, he's unjinxable. And Jodi's unflappable too. Really, the only person I'm worried about is me. I'm the bad omen, no. 28-26. No bad omens here. Radabaugh to Person. Nuss has had a few explosive games. Here's a three from the corner, a little long.
Yes.
Dead ball rebound to Bellevue West.
As a referee, it's always fun to see if I get the out-of-bounds call correct.
So you are measuring this game under different metrics than I am. I'm talking about who the standout players. You're seeing how do I fare against the guys in the stripes? We have a couple of experienced officials, though, in this crew. Three on the way. It caroms off the back iron, but the rebound to Amy Oltman. Remember, the shot clock resets to 20.
Oh, great pass. Great
And
look.
free throws coming
Yep.
for Oltman. Ahnica Russell-Brown back out there. She's got the 3 fouls, so we'll see how clever she can be. Oltman hasn't scored a ton this year. Starting today, I'm guessing maybe one of those players that will see more minutes without Naomi White.
A little short on that first free throw. See how the second one goes.
Schrader back in for Totino-Grace. A blank possession for Bellevue West. Totino-Grace looking to pad their lead. The largest lead for either side, I believe, is 4. Another 3, this one bricks. And Totino-Grace out of fouls to give. So Ahnica Russell-Brown will go to line for a 1-and-1. That is another difference between Nebraska and Minnesota. The NFHS changed the foul procedures this year, so every state that uses quarters, once you're in the penalty, it's automatic double bonus. Because Minnesota still uses halves, they have the 7 through 10 rule. Or maybe I should just call it 7-10. Do we call it 7-10 split? No, that's another sport. Another blank possession, though, for Bellevue West. And now we'll have a foul on the Thunderbirds. And it's on McVeigh. That's the last foul to give for Bellevue West.
Totino-Grace feels like they've woken up a little bit, I guess you could say. The plays that Bellevue West was making, the steals, the defensive aggressiveness, Totino-Grace has started to understand how to keep their bodies in the way better.
Totino-Grace sound defensively. Here's a deep 3.
Goodness.
Good look, just didn't go in.
Strong rebound.
I forget how deep some of these players go. McVeigh almost lost the dribble. Finds Vanna Reitzma. Bellevue, they want that 3. Ten to shoot. They can't find a way inside. Ahnica Russell-Brown.
Yeah, travel.
Yes.
Yep, travel.
Great interior defense there by Totino-Grace. Bellevue wanted the 3. Totino-Grace closed out and didn't give them any lanes to work with.
You can see that Totino-Grace is understanding Bellevue's strategy of trying to penetrate and dish. They did an outstanding job there of letting neither thing happen.
In a game that emphasizes layups and 3-pointers, here's a driving lane and free throws coming for Ava Regal.
I wondered if she might have taken an extra step before the contact, but she got the foul.
From my vantage point, I think they happened simultaneously, but I can't go back and review it, at least not yet. Regal, she and Chloe Nuss have nicknames for each other. Ava is referred to as Avalanche, or Avalanche, I don't know how you say it, and Ava refers to Chloe Nuss as the roller coaster. Ava's favorite show is The Office.
Nice rebound and a 3.
Another rebound, up and in. So Regal blanks at the free throw line, but picks up the 2 points on the second chance layup.
We don't have the stats in front of us, but I do feel Totino-Grace is on the boards much better than Bellevue West right now.
And again, that's where White would be a helping hand. She has a couple double-doubles. Another rebound, this time for Schrader. Totino-Grace up by 4, 30-26. Regal, the kick, 3. Not that time. McVeigh. To Reitzma. Once again, Bellevue. Whoa.
Oh.
I don't know if Totino-Grace got a piece of it. Well, Bellevue West certainly got a piece of it. It's a slip and slide out there. 3 ball. In and out. Regal. Bumped. We play on. The ball pinballs around and finally finds its way to Nuss. Jodi.
Wow, that felt like one of those long volleyball rallies where it just keeps going back and forth.
I've used the phrase Plinko bounce for a shot that bounces around the rim. I think we just got another version of it.
Pinball. That was pinball.
It was pinball. And they sure play some mean pinball. I bet at least one of these students does. Totino-Grace with another steal and a chance to extend what is currently their largest lead. Radabaugh fakes. Regal too far underneath and too many white jerseys. A three on the way. Short. Jodi.
Good look. That was a good.
These teams are flying right now.
They sure are.
They're just go, go, go. Touch three. Those are what, 3 or 4 possessions where they haven't even let the shot clock drain 10 seconds.
Right.
Extra pass.
Oh, just lid on the bucket for Bellevue West.
Good fake by Muller. Woodard couldn't finish it, though. We have less than a minute in this wild and crazy first half. Nuss on the take. Jodi, there is a lot of leeway here in regards to contact.
Yes, absolutely. Although, as a football player, I appreciate that.
Well, just as I say that, we get a foul there. And
that was definitely a little bit more contact than you can ignore.
And if you're wondering, I don't mind that. Every crew's a little different, but I don't mind a little bit of contact because it is a physical sport. Any sport that involves sticks or balls typically goes that way.
Danny Coyer coming back in for Bellevue West for the remainder of the half.
And if you want any player at the line, Melcher would be the one. Again, shooting 92%, 11 of 12. A steady hand. Augmenting Bellevue West's point total. Shot clock is off, so Totino-Grace could hold it. The way they're playing, I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't the case.
Put it up.
Right.
Nearly a steal. McVeigh has her hands in everything today.
Totino-Grace going for it. Layup bounces away.
7 seconds.
A three is on the way. Bullseye! McVeigh beats the buzzer. 32-31. Jodi, just when Totino-Grace appeared to have the edge, Bellevue West comes storming back.
You can see that three is something that Bellevue West lives and dies by. We'll have to see in the second half if that cover comes open from closer.
You were saying during the warm-up session they were working on those threes, the penetration three-ball setup, drive and kick.
Yep.
I think we understand why.
Absolutely. They are not afraid to put it up from anywhere outside that three-point line.
We'll take a short break and bring you the second half when we return. This is high school girls basketball. Totino-Grace leads Bellevue West 32-31. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot. It goes in. And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Life goes on, and the second half will go on in a moment. I don't know if any Jacks or Dianes in this lineup, but I can tell you that Totino-Grace leads Bellevue West by 32-31. Radabaugh leading the Eagles with 9 points. Kenzie Melcher leading the Thunderbirds with 9 points. McVeigh with 8. Nuss with 7. But Jodi, that first half, I don't think you could get more of a classic back and forth than that.
Wild and woolly in the first half. Absolutely.
And this is just the first of 2 games we'll bring you today at Totino-Grace in Fridley. The boys will follow.
Well, if the boys are anything like the girls, we're in for an excellent afternoon.
And you know what? Dane Bacon was telling me this team is going to compete. Don't discount us just because our top player is out, and he wasn't kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he's been coaching a while, so I would hope he would have a good read on his players. But, Jodi, you've been there with the Vixen and all your teams. When someone goes down, it's next man or next woman up or next individual, however you categorize it.
Well, and depth is so important. Just a little too hard on that pass. That was a nice thought, one extra pass. Just a little too tough to handle.
Well, and locally, Bellevue West followers may not be familiar with all the Minnesota teams, but all the top contenders have that depth. We'll be seeing some of them later on this season.
Sometimes you get a star, right, like Maddie Greenway or Paige Buckets, as they call her.
Well, Madden doesn't do it all by herself, even though it looks like it sometimes. She dropped 40 last night in the Providence Academy win over Lakeville North. Madden and Toy Orline will likely battle it out for first place in the state scoring race, much like they did last year. And those two will play each other on the schedule. And if you're wondering, yes, I have that one circled on the TSB television YouTube channel, and anyone watching locally. 15 to shoot. Shot clock hasn't been much of an issue for these two. McVeigh is fouled. She'll shoot 2. Of course, Nebraska had a year already to get used to this. Totino-Grace, this is the first year. But when you factor all the AAU play and some of the spring and summer exhibitions, most teams that I've seen already play quick enough that the shot clock seldom comes up.
It was just a matter of time before it got implemented at the high school game, absolutely.
And you and I covered a game already with it, and among the games I've seen, the biggest change, end-of-game scenarios, they're a lot cleaner now. You don't see those free throw parades or as many gambles defensively that lead to them. You can play 35 seconds of straight-up defense. Totino-Grace able to hang on to it.
Nice transition.
And a step through by Nuss. Came up short. Totino-Grace looking to stay undefeated. Bellevue West looking for another quality win. They already have a few in their resume. Russell Brown too strong on the take.
Good look, just too strong, as you said, Mike.
Regal
Yes.
and one, and that will be the 4th on Russell Brown. That really was an avalanche, or an avalanche.
Nice Grace under fire there to hang on while
We
Russell
were
Brown flew by.
We were making reference to the classics with the music selection. Ava Regal, her favorite player, Michael Jordan.
That's a true classic.
My first thought was, aren't you a little young?
The classics never go out of style, Mike.
If they did, he would take it personally. Deep 3. Drifts to the right. Scrum for the rebound will go to Bellevue West.
It's tough to wonder if it was a over-the-back foul when you have a player who's bigger than the one that they're fighting for, but that was definitely a clean bobble, and it did go off the Totino-Grace player.
That's an interesting point to bring up with those over-the-back fouls. Having the height advantage allows you to get around it. You kind of have a workaround just using your lane. Poyer tried to use her length there, but could not penetrate the post. Regal, driving kick. Totino-Grace trying to swing out.
Nice defense by Bellevue West.
Regal, the fadeaway. Bounces away, dead ball rebound to Totino-Grace.
The pace at which Totino-Grace moved that ball on the last possession was really good, but Bellevue West didn't lose a step. Had every angle covered.
Almost lost it. Wharton recovers.
Bellevue West looks to set up some offense.
Melcher. Now Wharton's got it with 10 to shoot. Way out.
Oh.
Bellevue West looking for somewhere to go. Block.
Bellevue West will get another try.
They'll have just 2 seconds on the shot clock. That was Person rising up.
I wonder if Totino-Grace got a message about being aggressive on defense during halftime.
That was Spencer, I should say, in the rejection. Totino-Grace not aware of the clock, or
No.
Bellevue West wasn't aware of the clock. So Spencer's block leading to an eventual turnover. And Jodi, we're going to see more of these situations over the course of this season here in Minnesota. Being aware of the shot clock, especially late. Regal speeds her way in the lane. Reitzma. Now Melcher has it and lost it as the ball went to the corner. Five-second call.
Yes.
Regal couldn't find a target in time.
Yeah. That did seem a quick 5 seconds, but it was 5.
Next time we should bring a stopwatch. But it's a turnover and a chance for Bellevue West.
To get some points on the board.
It's still a one-possession game.
Yep.
Now the shot clock resets to 20 in those situations. And here we go again. Bellevue West will have 2 to shoot. The shot clock resets to 20 if you force a turnover in the front court.
Yep.
Following the college rules, if it were the back court, it would go to the 35. Let's see if the Thunderbirds pick up the shot clock this time. They flip it in to Coyer, got it off rim, recovers, and
There
scores.
we go.
And the officials on top of it, you saw one signaling, basket is good.
Yep.
It did touch rim, so credit to the officials for not stopping play even though the shot clock expired.
And another turnover. So here comes Bellevue West with a little bit more aggressiveness. And here comes Russell Brown back into the game with 4 fouls.
She played with 3, but she has to be extra careful here. Has 5 points. Here's a 3 from the corner. Coyer leaping up for the rebound, and
but
she'll shoot 2.
Can't get the foul. With a player the size of Coyer, you would like to see her assert her presence just a little bit more under the basket.
She's averaging 7.4 points and 7.2 rebounds per game. She is going to go to Bellevue University, I believe, the NAIA school, so I think she'll be staying close to home.
She's definitely got the endurance and the basketball smarts, but again, you would like to see her asserting herself a little bit more underneath the basket.
We've seen how influential she can be in the low post over these last couple of possessions. It's a split for Coyer. Spencer got the save.
Totino-Grace very good at finding an open pass. But Bellevue, again, speedy on defense, able to close down those lanes.
Regal. There's the driving kick. Getting the deflection was McVeigh. Totino-Grace will have 9 to shoot. As the boys team is waiting for their turn.
I know it's not a stat that you keep, but I would be fascinated to see how many deflections McVeigh has today versus actual steals.
Coaches do keep track of that. Coyer with the rejection, but Totino-Grace staying with it. Megan Spencer has been the X factor for the Eagles, just 4 points, but we saw that block earlier, helping out after a missed layup attempt.
Excellent job of following the shot. Sometimes you don't get that nice flash out of flash smack for a foul, but that time it was definitely there.
Megan Spencer, her favorite player, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Noah Kahn, her favorite music artist, who was just recently on Saturday Night Live. Spencer splits at the line. I was almost going to say Noah Kahan, and then I remembered it's Khan, like Khan Noonien Singh. Here is Radabaugh.
Nifty little drive to find the lane.
A three-point play, but Bellevue West scores on the other end. That's Reitzma.
And right into a press.
Jodi, I've said this, sometimes the best opportunity to score is right after your opponent does. 39-38, Totino-Grace with a 1-point lead. In a game where neither team is led by more than 6. Three on the way. Short. Going in was Melcher, but her layup too soft. Handoff. There's Spencer again. Throws up a tough shot. Russell Brown had it, but a jump
Grace
ball.
will keep it.
We noted the Bellevue West schedule earlier, and Dane Bacon told me following COVID, some teams have had trouble rebuilding their ranks. So the Thunderbirds, in response, have gone outstate a little more frequently to find tough matchups.
It only serves to benefit the program, absolutely.
This is Sophia Person, who throws it up, but the runner comes up short. Now a foul on the Eagles.
Yes.
With 11:59 to go in the second half. And one of my announcing colleagues, Pat Barrett, mentioned this. These are the kinds of games that people look forward to. Breakdown does a lot of this with their invitationals. This is a cross-state doubleheader. And you're going to learn a lot more than you would going up against a team that you might beat by 30 or 40. This is McVeigh. Lost it.
Yeah.
And to our point, another thing I look for, Jodi, when I view the teams, hold before the inbound. Who do you schedule outside the conference?
Right, because you don't want to create a situation where something's going to be lopsided, but you also want to give your fans something to look forward to on the schedule as well.
Now, Totino-Grace is playing in a holiday tournament where they don't know all their opponents yet, but they do know that Radabaugh can move her way inside, as she just did. But a big clue is who they schedule outside the conference. That usually tells you which teams think they have a good chance of making a deep run. Totino-Grace looking to run again after getting the rebound, and they will. Schrader scores this time.
First time you felt the momentum shift, and yes, a timeout by Bellevue West. Yep.
Radabaugh up to 13. Carolyn Schrader with her first field goal. And it's 43-38, Bellevue West taking a timeout. And now we have a 21st century musical selection. Carolyn Schrader, her pregame ritual, eat a banana and drink a bubbler. She didn't say which flavor, though.
Wow, and there's so many to choose from.
I'm more of a bubbly person myself. Bubbly or LaCroix, any of those. Another Giannis Antetokounmpo fan, and she, like many others, find their favorite moment so far, beating Matabidi in the section semifinal. And again, for some of the younger players, that may be their biggest memory or the one they took part in. Some were on that team that won it all 2 years ago, but again, that was led by Leah Dangerud and Hannah Herzig. But
let's see if Bellevue West can come back after this timeout with a little bit more fire.
Well, remember, this game has been super close, super tight. Neither team is led by more than 6. Side fade, 3, long. So this is going to be gut check time in a sense if Totino-Grace can extend this lead. Regal near the high post. Goes to Schrader. Radabaugh. It worked once before. It works again.
I'm wondering if fatigue is starting to set in for Bellevue West. They are not making the usual collapse into the lane on defense.
Radabaugh up to 15 points. She had 25 in the win over Holy Angels, her season high.
And converts the three-point play. Russell Brown back in for Bellevue West. I think you need that spark.
Still a long way to go, 10-20. As some fans start to file in for the boys' game, Coyer posts up.
There we go. That's the post. That's the post move I was hoping we'd see out of her.
Kick ball. Bellevue West will get it. Now remember, the shot clock should reset to 20.
Was it a kickball or was it a foul? Oh, there's the shot clock. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw the kickball signal.
Okay.
And I don't see a foul going up on the board.
Got it.
I saw the kickball signal, but you always want to double check. Touch 3. Coyer.
Shoot 2.
How did she win that battle? She was behind 2 Totino-Grace players. It's a bit like Justin Jefferson and that snake of his against San Francisco.
You know, when you have long arms, sometimes you just get lucky.
Totino-Grace will take a timeout here. They do lead by 6, but Coyer will go to the line to shoot 2 following the break. Just under 10 to play. Jodi, once again, another back and forth affair.
The margin is 6, but it might as well be 0. These teams are playing so tight and so aggressively, it could go either way.
And Totino-Grace, I think what has impressed me most about what they did 2 years ago, what they're doing now, they don't have a roster that has that big superstar presence like Benilde St. Margaret's does with Olivia Olson, Providence Academy, and Madden Greenway. Now, Dangerud and Herzig weren't pushovers by any means. They were fantastic. But Totino-Grace is doing this without a player that stands out like some of the top prospects. But they find a way to get it done.
Well, and you've just described the way that that you can win a surprise championship, if that's the way you want to put it. You have contributors, and you're not reliant on someone to take the lead. A little bit of a soccer flip there. Back to the ref.
And he has a laugh about it. Coyer up to 11. 46-42. Regal, the kick out, Nuss. She's been quiet, relatively speaking. That's a travel.
Yep.
It deflected back to her, but no one, well, I don't know if it deflected, but she kind of lost her grip and then came up with it.
Yep. And Russell Brown there, knowing she can't take another foul, just standing in the lane, and it worked out.
Another chance for Bellevue West. Russell Brown. Through the hole. Clutches. Not that time. Bellevue West got the timeout call in as one of their players, I think it was McVeigh, maybe Melcher. Tough to tell with the ponytails, but she got the rebound in a vulnerable position near the baseline.
Yep.
9:25 to go. We'll see who gets to shake all night long. I don't know if that's the most appropriate song for this environment, if you understand the meaning behind the song, but AC/DC is one of the classic staples. I was trying to make something of it, and I'm like, I don't know if this is the best choice. Oh, well.
That's a long tail on that kite, Mike.
That is a really long tail.
But we're flying. We're flying.
I was going to say, and you're watching me lose it, watching my kite fly away. 9:25 to go, Jodi. What do you think it's going to come down to? Like you said, the margin might as well be 0 because the teams have pretty much played like it. It may come down to the last minute or so. What will be the difference?
Well, again, I talked about maybe fatigue setting in a little bit for Bellevue West, but now they look back on their feet and fresh, and now they've got an inbounds chance and a chance to pull within 1. So it's anyone's game.
I've got it now. We'll find out which team can leave the other thunderstruck.
There we go.
Russell Brown
There's your ACD. Oh.
throws it up and striking like thunder there.
Bringing the storm. Bellevue West is bringing the storm.
Bringing the storm because these two teams shoot to thrill.
We'll be here all week, folks.
I've got 5 games today. I got to save some. We've got the second game of this doubleheader, and I got to do 3 more at Park Center when you watch this.
It's never a dull moment with you, sir.
Ahnica Russell Brown scoring for the first time in the second half. It's a good thing the players can't hear me.
Bounce off the back of the rim. Here comes Totino-Grace. Woo.
Nuss zigzags. Coyer sends it away. And just like 10,000 other times, Jodi, Totino-Grace builds a lead. Bellevue West answers back. They could tie it with a 3. High low for Coyer. Blocked, but a foul. And Totino-Grace in the penalty the rest of the way.
That was a great feed pass to Coyer underneath.
And we didn't have the best of angles up here. Our GoPro might have had a better look at it, but those are tough when you try to get that block in stride.
Yep.
I'm not saying it was a bad call. It's just really difficult to keep it clean.
Yep. Coyer converts the first half.
Coyer doing well at the free throw line as of late. And Bellevue West, they're using those free throws to stick around. Out shooting Totino-Grace.
Yep. 1 point lead.
15 of 21. Bellevue West is at the line. Totino-Grace 6 of 12. And that difference,
Oh,
a
boy.
big one. Ooh. A reach-in foul. And it's on Melcher.
Now, Melcher had a great chance at a steal there. That was exactly the right time to go for it. Just got a little bit too much wrist.
I know they say it's all on the wrist, but I don't think that's how they envision it.
Not exactly.
Radabaugh flexing her wrists and all of her muscles. 3 ball. Goes off a little strong. Rebound, Spencer. And laying it in. Ava Latecki. High lob. Easy pickings for Regal. Oh, and that goes off the official.
Yeah.
Jodi, more of that pinball we were talking about. I see the inbound throwing it up like a Hail Mary. You're just asking to have that picked off there, and then Totino-Grace coughs it up, so no harm, no foul.
Right. Back to a 3-point lead for Totino-Grace.
Baseline drive, and the runner too strong. Spencer collects the rebound. Latecki. Back to Spencer. Regal. The kick out. Extra pass. 3. Not there. Coyer
Strong rebound for Coyer.
Making sure no one's going to touch it. And a good play by Sophia Person. You were talking about deflections. Again, coaches keep track of that. They don't post them to stat pages like they do in football with pass deflections,
Right.
but they're still just as critical.
Yeah, great play to keep a layup from happening in the transition.
Three from the wing.
Nope.
Too strong. Perhaps the most famous coach I know to keep track of deflections, Cheryl Reeve, the longtime head coach of the Minnesota Lynx.
Yep.
Latecki with another dribble drive.
Pateki understanding that Russell Brown couldn't take another foul and daring her to do it. Yeah.
Regal hit with the foul, and that is the 8th team foul on Totino-Grace. And that means free throws for McVeigh. It's a shooting foul, so 2 free throws automatically. McVeigh with 10. What a fun game this has turned out to be.
It really has, Mike. I was just thinking that with all the lead changes and the back and forth and the energy, really great game.
And you wondered how the Thunderbirds would look without Scott, and it's tough to say with the butterfly effect how the game might change if she were in there. But Bellevue West, I think they're going to get a lot of positive takeaways from this, whatever happens. A split at the line for McVeigh. Go ahead.
Well, anytime you come to a different state, much less a different city, take on a brand new team, and you learn something about yourself.
And it's a 5.5-hour commute to get from Bellevue to Fridley.
Mm-hmm.
Deep three for Radabaugh.
Nope.
Offensive rebound for Totino-Grace as the Thunderbirds couldn't secure it.
Just squirted out of McVeigh's hand.
Slipped through her fingers.
Sometimes the ball comes off. It's such a weird rotation.
It may not be oblong, but that ball can still play tricks. Latecki had the drive poked away from her. Totino-Grace will have 8 to shoot. .638 on the clock. Nuss sees the clock, makes a move, too strong. Coyer got it.
Nice.
And Russell Brown makes sure it stays with Bellevue West. Totino-Grace bringing pressure up top. Loose ball. It's going to be scooped up by Latecki, who scoops it in. How about that play? I think that's your candidate for play of the game.
I think so. Way to stay in bounds and get the ball somewhere your teammate could go and get it.
High-low, deflected. Now a 3.
Nope, too long.
Bellevue West having a little trouble with those threes in the second half. Latecki again.
Yes.
You bet. Latecki with 8 off the bench.
Still plenty of time for Bellevue West to make another run, although Totino-Grace looks like they're ready to close.
Latecki, by the way, a new season high. Russell Brown can't answer. Could this be the juncture, the springboard that catapults Totino-Grace to another win in their undefeated campaign? It will stay with the Eagles. 5:18 to go.
Looking at the benches, Totino-Grace has double the bodies that Bellevue West does, so maybe fatigue will be a factor here.
There was no JV game as part of this doubleheader, so everyone had extended warm-ups today. Oh,
yes.
Radabaugh didn't get back in bounds in time.
Yes.
Chloe Nuss, she's going to go to the training room. Wonder what happened. Didn't look like she was suffering from any major ailments. Maybe needs to get taped up or maybe a cut. We'll see. Speaking of cuts, McVeigh cuts away to the rim, and this is where Bellevue West has hung around the free throw line. They've been highly aggressive with those slashes, those drives. And so McVeigh, who has 11 points, We'll try to add a couple more here.
Nice little roll from McVeigh to convert the first half.
It's Schrader who banks it in this time.
High bank off the glass.
That left side providing lots of openings for Totino-Grace. Backcourt violation. Melcher did not get across in time. And to be clear, Jodi, if I understand this correctly, it's where the receiver is when the pass is made, not when they catch it?
Yes, that is correct. Because if it was where they caught it, she would have been fine.
Radabaugh wanted to kick out. Bellevue West takes it back. Now they have a fast break chance.
There we go. There we go. Nice conversion for Bellevue West.
Reitsma with the finish. 6-point game, and still plenty of opportunity here with 4.5 and the shot clock. So Totino-Grace cannot lay back, at least not yet. Regal had a couple of white jerseys surrounding her. Eagles wanted to walk. They won't get it. Russell Brown pops up a three. Interesting decision, didn't work out. Regal to the right side and in.
With a little roll.
Jodi, this second half, we've seen Totino-Grace penetrate that lane with impunity.
Yes. And get the bounces and the rolls that we're not following in the first half.
They lead by 8, 58-50. Russell Brown too strong. Dead ball rebound to Totino-Grace. Timeout, Bellevue West with 3:36 to go.
You do sense the Totino-Grace Eagles with that slight maintenance of advantage. But again, this Bellevue West team has shown nothing but scrappiness all day. So we'll see what happens in these last 3.5 minutes.
Can they get a three to go in? Because that has been their Achilles heel in the second half. If they can, they could climb their way back. If not, they may be the next one that bites the dust. Radabaugh with 16 points. Schrader with 9. Lateki with 8 off the bench. Her previous season high was 5. And on the Bellevue West side, Coyer and McVeigh both have 13 each. Queen's one of my favorite bands, so I can't let a Queen song go without paying homage to it.
Right.
In case you're wondering. Touch three off the inbound. Off the back iron. Scramble.
Bellevue West has it.
And they'll get a fresh 20, I believe, or will it stay at 12? I'm still
20.
sorting that out. Yeah. There was one game I did where it stayed at 3 seconds, and this time it resets to 20. I'm still getting used to the shot clock procedures.
Yep.
A lot of the changes to mirror the college game didn't take place. Well, Totino-Grace just gave...
There's a little scrum there at the top of the elbow.
I was going to say they just gave Bellevue West a lifeline because they're going to go to the free throw line to shoot two. Vanna Reitsma. Who I don't think has scored at all. I'm looking up and down the roster.
And now she has.
Well, I meant scored in previous games. She's got 5 here. Sophia Person checks out. Reitsma makes both. Bellevue West 20 of 27. Their field goal shooting hasn't been great. Wide open lane and a block from behind on Coyer, but a foul. Jodi, I'm a little surprised that Bellevue West, given Totino-Grace's success on drives, left the lane that open.
That was, you could tell there was a little mental lapse there on the defense in the paint because Coyer vacated and Totino-Grace immediately took advantage.
Lateki likes to go shopping and hang out with friends. She eats a granola bar before every game. And her favorite music artist, Drake. So splits at the line.
7-point lead.
59-52. Bellevue West, they do need to get some shots to go in to have a reasonable shot. Radabaugh pokes it away again. She'll force the tie-up. That's the second time Radabaugh's defensive sniping ability has led to an opportunity.
The mental advantage you can get when you know you have the ability to poke at the ball like that. One of those unsung stats.
Seven to shoot. Baseline J. Won't drop for Schrader. And another chance for Bellevue West. McVeigh to Russell Brown. Back to McVeigh. Sizing up a three possibly. Now they go
Nice
inside.
penetration.
Was it a walk or was it a foul?
Looks like a foul.
Yes. I didn't see a hand go up or any kind of signal, but after a discussion, it is a foul, and that is not the player you want to send to the free throw line, the one who's shooting 92%. And Kenzie Melcher. It takes some doing to have a stroke like that. I've covered how many games. I did a boys game earlier this week where neither team shot well at the line, but you never know when those points will matter.
That is the result of 1,000, 100, a million reps at the line.
Miss, but Russell Brown collects it and
There
lays
we
it
go.
in. Her first field goal of the second half, a three-point play in reverse. Makes it 59-55. As these two
See if Bellevue West can come up with a defensive stop here.
slug their way to the finish line. Deep three.
Way downtown.
Bullseye.
Oh!
Radabaugh with a razzle-dazzle triple.
We talk about nails in the coffin.
That might be it, but Russell Brown missed the layup. Here's a chance for Totino-Grace to throw down the hammer and fly like an eagle to victory. The step through, too strong for Regal. Loose ball picked up by Spencer. Shot clock resets to 35, but Lateki not going to wait.
There we go.
Missing the layup. Bellevue West, they got to score quick. Three ball. Short. Steal and the
Oh,
layup.
there's something.
Reetsma, she's got 8 off the bench. 5-point game. Bellevue West, they don't have to foul here. They do have one to give, but they can play defense. Regal goes across. Tried to sell the foul, I think. Timeout, Totino-Grace.
Totino-Grace.
Jodi, 1:01 to go.
Oh,
Bellevue West can play for a stop. They need a couple things to go their way to snatch victory here. What a game, though.
even if Bellevue West ends up losing this game, you have to admire they never quit. They had some things go right. They had some things go wrong. Their work in transition was very, very good. Some really good things for them to take home after this game.
And this is why they schedule the way they do. Providence Academy, Maple Grove, a couple of teams that aren't afraid of a challenge. Bellevue West, they know this isn't going to impact our standing when it comes time to see the postseason field.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those games that help you get better, and they're having to do all this without their top player, Naomi White. So you have to think a game like this is only going to rise that confidence to a whole new level when they get her back.
Absolutely. If they can stay successful during the time she's out, they'll only be that much better when she comes back.
Remember, they played 3 of the preseason top 5 and a 3A contender here in Totino-Grace. Eagles working the clock. I don't expect them to shoot until late. You hear the countdown now. Spencer for the dagger. Can't get the bounce. Rebound. Eventually snagged by Russell Brown. Thunderbirds looking to push. Extra pass. Block. Picking it up. And leg it in is Rietzma.
Reverse in. Nice.
Shot clock is off. It's a 3-point game, but Bellevue West, if they don't get the turnover here, they've got a foul. Totino-Grace, they're going to hang on to it. What chutzpah, though, from Rietzma. You know the saying, next man, next woman up. When Naomi White comes back, I think Dane Bacon, I'm not suggesting there'll be a change in the starting lineup, but I think he's going to have some knowledge, some insight about Rietzma that he may not have had before.
The deeper your bench can be, the better off you are. That's always been the way it is.
Bellevue West, they were out of fouls to give, so this is 1-and-1 time for Totino-Grace and Chloe Nuss. The roller closter, as Ava Regal calls her, makes it a 2-possession game. Kobe Bryant, her favorite player.
And Nuss might just have closed it out for Totino-Grace.
It's possible. Nuss, those are her first points of the second half, but they were big ones. 5-point lead, 15 seconds. Baseline drive goes awry, and that should do it.
And an immediate foul.
Jodi, Totino-Grace, I think that defensive aggressiveness of theirs, along with those takes to the rim. We saw attack after attack from Lateki and a couple of others, I think, later in the second half. They worked the lanes, and it paid off in a big way. Nuss will check out. A quiet day for her, 9 points after some big numbers early on, but she got a couple of big ones. And Megan Spencer with another heads-up defensive play to close it out.
That'll be Russell Brown fouling out with 3.8 seconds left.
Well, Spencer will go back to the line. Spencer, though, only 5 points, but she would be my hustle award winner.
Absolutely.
Hustle player.
Absolutely.
She came up big in several instances today. And Totino-Grace will stay undefeated, going to 7-0, and they will add perhaps their biggest win of the season on the resume.
Well, and for Totino-Grace, again, to be hosting a team that, and I think when you're the visitors and you're the unknown, you always come in with a little bit of chip on your shoulder. So it was incumbent on Totino-Grace to keep their confidence, to keep their cool, and that's exactly what they did. They just outlasted, and I really like the way that Totino used so many people and had the flow the whole time.
66-59 the final. Totino-Grace moves to 7-0, adding another quality win to the resume. We've got another game coming your way. The boys will take their turn as we continue this doubleheader here at Totino-Grace. You're watching high school basketball. And I'm joined by Ava Ratecki and Maria Radabaugh of Totino-Grace, who eked out a 66-59 win today over Bellevue West. And Ava, 9 points off the bench, season high, but I think you embodied the key difference in the second half. Totino-Grace saw a lot of lanes, and they took advantage of them. When did you sense that those lanes could be the ticket to victory?
Honestly, just like going for it and just taking the open drive, and whatever happens, happens. If you get blocked, just next play. If you get fouled, then you make your free throws. And so I just went for it because why not? That's how you win games.
7-0 now, and a win against one of the top teams from Nebraska. A lot of players from last year's team came back, and it looks like the experience is paying off. What do you notice is different between last year and this year?
I'm just a freshman, so.
Okay, well, you're a freshman. Well, you know what? That's probably why you're 7-0, right? Before Ava got here? No. But what does it mean, Totino-Grace, you've seen their success. They won state a couple years ago. Now you get to play a part in it. You played a big part in today's game. How do you think your presence is helping this Eagles team?
Honestly, I'm just trying to be a good teammate and do what's best for my team, and I'm just proud of all my teammates and how we pulled out with a win today.
And what do you enjoy most about playing a team from outside the state in Nebraska? You've played a lot of non-conference games, I'm sure, in the past, but I don't think it comes up often where you get to play a team 5.5 hours away.
Yeah, I know. It's like pretty cool playing teams. It's a different type of team to play, and they were really good, so it was fun.
Well, Maria, I guess I'll ask you the question that I asked Ava, who won't have a perspective yet because she's a freshman, but you were a part of last year's team, sort of that rebuilding phase, but they did get to the section finals. Do you think that lit a fire that is carried over to this year?
Yeah, I think we for sure have more energy this year. Like, we're just really an energetic group, and like it shows on the court. It really helps like the people on the court just to, like stay focused, stay in. Even when we're down, we like our energy brings us back up for sure.
Where do you find an extra gear to slug out a close win in a game that was back and forth all the way until the end?
Really just like realizing like there's only like 3 minutes left. Like you can keep going, like keep doing it, and like if you keep going, then you can pull out a win like we just did.
And what do you think this win signifies about Totino-Grace? They're 7-0 and in the mix again in Class 3A. I know you came close to making it to state last year. What do you think this December so far says about this Totino-Grace team and how much they've grown between last year and this year?
I think our hard work is paying off for sure. Like our hard work outside of like what you don't see like at practice and stuff, it's for sure growing, and it's showing on the court in games. So that's why we're 7-0.
And all the way to 32-0, right?
Yeah.
That might be hard. If you drop a game or two, I think that'll be okay, especially in the North. Well,
we can do it. We can do
right.
it.
Well, you never know. I know the Northwest Suburban has a lot of tough teams. I saw a couple of them yesterday. Before we go, you want to say hi to anybody?
Not really.
Yeah, not really.
No, just my Fury teammates if they're watching. That's it.
All right. Well, sorry, Totino-Grace fans, you'll have to wait until next time. But I'm sure whatever happens, you've given everyone plenty of reasons to cheer you on. Congrats on the hard-fought win, and we'll see if it leads to maybe another state tournament run. Long way to go, but this is another good step in that direction.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ava Latecki and Maria Radabaugh of Totino-Grace will continue our doubleheader coverage shortly.